200,000 tons. It cost me $10 to get it. I want to make a $3 profit. So I bid it at $13 plus tax.
So $3 per ton
is what I take home.
Which is still amazing.
I bid that first project in December. So this is a very short timeline. All of the contracts that I have happened between March and April.
We're in for a treat today. Anjali Monique is here. First bid, first win. She's got 3 wins already. A 4th is pending. I'm just so excited to have you here and for everyone to hear your story. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're excited.
I'm excited, and I would want to know, how did you get started in government contracting?
I actually heard about it. A girlfriend I know, she had started kind of dabbling in it maybe about 3 years ago. And she would post every now and then like some wins that she was doing. And I was just like, she was talking about it and she was like, Anjali, you've got marketing talents and event planning, and you can do that in government contracting. And of course, I never knew that I could do it for the government. I've worked with Marriott for the last 10 years of my career. At the end of April will be 11. And I literally, I've done blue ribbon events and all of the events that the military is, soliciting for, but I never figured I could be a solicitor. And so that's kind of what I started looking at. And to be honest, she was like, hey, go do this to get your business organized. Once you get it done, I'm going to help you out. I got all of those things done. I got the EIN and got my Secretary of State, got my bank account. I reached out, crickets. I didn't hear anything. I called, crickets. And it fueled me, honestly, to begin my own process because I don't think everything she did it on purpose or ever really knew like it really impacted me the way that it did. But what it did is it fueled me to go research it and try to figure it out on my own. And when I did that, I ran into Kizzy Park. And so I started following like the YouTube University, following on Instagram, joined the private Facebook page, but I was never really active in anything. I was just kind of like watching people like come on the Facebook page and talk about their wins. And I'm like, well, okay. And then like, I think I inboxed you one day on Instagram and I was just like, I gotta get your stuff. Like, I just gotta, and you told me, go watch the videos, go start somewhere. And that's pretty much how I got started.
That is amazing. And what did you decide you're going to bid on? Because one thing is, especially with like your background and for those viewing, you can bid on anything from keyboards to events to medical staffing. What did you bid on?
So I initially was when I watched this one video about the Middleman, I pretty much followed the whole chain. And so I was like, Middleman, event planning. Okay, and I watched this one guy who, he's now got his own thing going on, but he was on your show and he was bidding for dry cleaning. And I was like, okay, because I'm not picking up any clothes, I can do that. So I was looking for like the middleman scenario, but didn't find anything that I was confident in. So it wasn't that they were out there. I just wasn't confident that I was going to win it. And then if I did janitorial, I feel like it was overly saturated. So again, this is just me watching videos. So I went to the next best thing. Anjali, what do you really want to do with your business? And my goal for Momentum Management Collective LLC, is I would like to go into highway management. I have been wanting to do highway management. I can't tell you how long, in construction. Okay, well, how do you do that? Well, you got to start at the bottom. And that's what I bid on, the bottom. So I began to bid aggregate. I began to bid riprap, which, and if anybody who doesn't know what that is, before you lay concrete, there are big boulders. There's another size that's called riprap. There's another size that's called crusher, which is like the really fine kind of like gravel that we see, but it's kind of like a mix of different rocks that they can put down. Ours here in Georgia is granite. And it's like almost like the leftovers, and they crush it up. And then they can lay asphalt. Then they can lay concrete. So I bid the bottom. So I bid a riprap and aggregate, ABC aggregate, and I won against 25 other bids.
Wow, 20.
And I'll beat a person who has had the contract for over 5 years.
Please tell us how this happened. Please tell us more. And this was your first one.
First bid, that was in December 2023. It opened, let me just tell you how crazy it is. So, and I'm sure we'll talk more about platforms that we use. But I went on bidnetdirect.com. Very beginner friendly, I would say that. Like, if you don't know what you're really doing, you download the template, you kind of do your math, like have yourself together. Don't just start putting in numbers. But it's very easy, and I think it is very user friendly. I first called a rock quarry and found out there were 2 bids in my county. And so one of them is North Fulton and one was South Fulton, where I live in South Fulton. And I was like, I could win the one that's upstreet. Literally, it was like not even 7 minutes from my house. And I was like, this would be amazing. That is not the one I won, by the way. I won the one all the way to the side of Atlanta. And so I pretty much called the rock quarry, and they said, hey, we've got one out that way. I said, I need the best price that you can do. And this particular rock quarry, I had seen them in other counties winning those bids. So I was like, please just don't bid it. They were like, okay. So the person I just don't happen to talk to, she is the person who bid projects for that quarry. And I was literally just asking her, I was like, just don't bid it. Give me the best price. And I explained my whole story. I want to get into highway management. I have to start at the bottom. I watched this course and it was just involved. She's like, actually, honestly, as an African-American woman, as an African-American and a woman trying to get into construction and traffic management, I support this. Let's do it. They gave me a price. I was able to bid it. But here is the key. You're the first project or first projects. You're not necessarily bidding for money. And I think sometimes we are going to overshoot it, or we're not going to win because your markup is 100%. So I'm just going to give blanket numbers. So I have a 200,000 ton contract. It's a lot of money, 600,000. So I bid it. This is just me making up numbers. 200,000 tons. It cost me $10 to get it. I want to make a $3 profit. So I bid it at $13 plus tax.
So $3 per ton
is what I take home.
Right. Which is still amazing.
Even if I had just done $1, that's still way more than I came to the fight with.
Right.
So that's kind of like what my thought process is right now. Again, until I get some certs and different things, I cannot wait till we start talking about that. But like, till I get those other things that I can kind of guarantee some certain bids, then I did an experiment on myself. And my experiment was something that you talk about within your program. You always ask people, I like watch you for real. You always ask people, do you have a website? Do you have this? Like, what is your marketing? What's your budget for that? What are you doing for this? My background is actually in branding and marketing. That's what I went to college for. So design-wise, my logos, I use your free capability form, the one that's like in bars. Mm-hmm. I use that one because, as a matter of fact, I inboxed to get it again. I used everything free, and I've jotted down every single thing, every step that I've done. I wrote it down. So I used your free template. I watched your free videos. I listened to your methods and your thought process of what you're doing and how you've been winning millions. And so I took that and I was just like, okay, how do you scale something simple? No website, pay for your Secretary of State, open that bank account, register on whatever the counties, want you to register on for payment. That was it. To this moment, I still have not I know website is finished, but I have not launched the website because I wanted to conclude everything that I put out there, because I didn't want anybody to just be like, oh my God, the website is so pretty, and not believe in my product or believe in what I was really trying to put out there, because sometimes the websites aren't real either, So I did do an experiment. So the test is, can you win government contracting without having your quote unquote marketing, branding, self together? The answer is yes, you can. Can you make money without having the perfect image? Yes, you can. And that's the testimony that I would like to share with anybody who's starting, is that what we just discussed is just start.
Yes, I love that. You do have to just start. You beat out 25 people. You bid on work in your area, which is brilliant. And it's stuff that you understand.
And even if I didn't, I'm literally doing it I made a call, they gave me a price. That price is good through the end of the year. And every time I just send an email when The county emails me, I email someone else, they email me back, I email them. That is the logistics of my job. And then I send an invoice. And I may send a text that says, hi, thank you for choosing Momentum Management. Just want to confirm that your delivery has been delivered. Like that is and he's like, yep, got it. I mean, it's very administrative at times currently.
Which is awesome. And I mean, it just, what about the payments? Because some people may think, okay, this is great, but when do you have to pay the supplier?
So I negotiated in the very beginning a net 30. And so not only did I negotiate a net 30, I negotiated a net 30 with my quarry, but then I turned around and I offered a 5% discount to my county if they pay it within 14 days.
Wow.
They have yet to not pay within the 14 days, just to save the 5%. So there are benefits in paying on time. So of course, they also are on a net 30 as well. But if I can pay mine, it's just like having credit. If I can pay mine without having to like be late, then I'm doing great. If I can pay it ahead of time, I'm doing even better.
Right.
Oh, speaking of credit, I have not used one credit card or my own personal credit for anything. I did that on purpose. Like I got some small credit cards, Capital One, when I started the business, just in case I needed something. But I have not used them at all for anything that I've done.
Which is great because you're on the net 30 and you took advantage of the early pay, which for everyone watching, you now know this doesn't just apply to the federal government or just the state. You have to have your voice heard. So if you put out there, I'm offering 5% or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever percentage, more than likely they're going to want to do it because it saves them money.
Yeah. And 5%, when you start doing thousands of tons of things, it's like, that's a win for them.
Yeah, that's a huge,
yeah.
And it's a win for you because you have that cash flow early. You can repay. The vendor's like, okay. And then maybe this vendor will say, hey, did you come across this? I thought of you. I saw this opportunity. You may want to bid and we can do the same thing again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we talk about other things you're bidding on or other things you're interested in, you talked about set-asides. Let's talk more about that. What made you bring up good old set-aside?
Well, the set-asides, again, I watched that video.
Yeah.
I also purposely did not get a part of any set-aside type of like applications initially. I'm doing some now. I did before it. Right now, I self-certify anymore. So I did self-certify when I first came into it. Okay. So I do have my logos and but I do still want like my little certificate. I want it behind me. So I am working on that. I would love to become 8A. I would love to do like some more things. I am very cognizant, and this is, again, I know a little bit about business because I've owned multiple businesses. I am definitely a serial entrepreneur, but this is probably the one I have taken the most serious in myself. I'm very cognizant of how much money we make within this business because at a certain place, we no longer qualify for small business. And so I am very cognizant. I think that is super important to know, is that you can bid yourself out of small business. And you can definitely do that. And once you start making, if I got a really good, true, like an I-10 or, one of these big, really, really long, interstates that we have here, that's a 3 to 5 year contract, I'm out of small business immediately. That's a done deal. But I'd get into it, but they last forever. So
okay.
So set-asides, I think it's set-asides for those who may not know, that's going to be like women-owned business, disadvantaged small business, disadvantaged business owner, minority business owner, small business. And so we find ourselves oftentimes in those categories. We don't know how to really use it. What I did when it comes to that document that you gave us is that I dropped those logos on there. They're on there as big as day. You don't even have to read. Don't worry about reading. I don't want you to read. All of my past performances are in logo form, and they're able to see Marriott, Westin, Gaylord, this, like they're able to see where I am immediately off of the top. And regardless if they ask me for my capability form or not, I send it.
I love that.
because most people don't.
Most people don't, and most people aren't savvy like you to go back to their to use their employer's logo.
Yeah.
Because you're just putting it as past performance or experience. You're not saying that they're clients, and then you're able to explain.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So just keep it simple, keep it consistent. I try to say the same thing. If I could share like what I sent when I bid.
Yeah.
So I send the capability document. I also always send a, it looks like an invoice, but it's a proposal. But to them, it looks like in the end. So I'm not just putting in numbers and be like, y'all calculate it. I send them an actual proposal in the form of an invoice that shows them if there's taxes or if we are absorbing the taxes or if I'm paying for something myself because we've got enough profit in it. Like one of my bids I'm doing right now, we are covering delivery.
Okay.
That was not on purpose. That was on accident. I bid the aggregate and forgot to put the delivery in the price. I had it written in the line item, but it was not in the calculations. So because it was not in the calculations, I made a mistake. So right now I'm eating delivery. Thank God it's close, but I am eating delivery. But that was a mistake I made on my very, very first bid. I send them that invoice. It has a full breakdown of what it is, how it should be at the end. And then I also send a description. So whatever description of like, if it's an aggregate, I make sure that I send from my rock query, the certification that what I'm going to be giving them from them is what they're expecting. And that's just in particular for like the rock movement. But I do that this event management one that I did. We're procuring bathrooms and a tent and all that stuff. I sent pictures. I sent, descriptions. I still send the same thing.
Wow, that's good though.
Extra step though, definitely extra step. But I want them to be like, oh my God, they take enough time to give me all of this.
Right, because then you set yourself apart.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. And everything I have is in color.
Oh, I love that. I love that you give them everything in color.
Yep.
When will you start to bid on either work outside of where you live and or federal government?
So I've already started bidding outside of where I live. North Carolina, that's our pending one. That's a huge contract. It'll total up to about $760,000 at the end. And then our take home is somewhere at $300,000. So that one's pending. We were originally awarded and then it was taken back and then we had to rebid it. And then we were awarded the same thing again, but it was going to a different department. So somebody else is paying for it and that part has not been figured out yet. So I just left alone.
That's amazing.
Until y'all figure it out. So they're having like something going on, but we just let it be. We're just working the ones we got. I am looking to bid federal government now. I'm terrified. I am in Sam.Gov. I finally crossed over. I'm in it now. Within going into Sam.Gov, I located Unison and I have 11 bids out in Unison right now. I probably discovered Unison 2 weeks ago. And just to give like context of timeline, I bid that first project in December. The bid was only out for 48 hours. I've never seen that happen before then or since then. It was up one day, it was gone in 2 days. I was not awarded that contract to the last week in February.
Okay.
It was dead silent from that time. And then we began moving rock the day I was awarded. We began, the request was that day. So that was, let's just say, end of February, top of March. This is the end of April for those who will watch the replay. So this is a very short timeline. All of the contracts that I have happened between March and April. That's creepy to me. And it's so fast. It's so fast. But yeah, it's very fast and there's a lot of opportunity out there. Unison to me is what's holding a lot of those federal bids. So recently I just bid bathrooms for a military base that's being remodeled and showers, 16 showers that'll be there for a month. So I'm starting it. I haven't done any ones in construction just yet. I'm terrified that I win. And not know, cause that up until today, I was at work every day and literally I turned in my resignation today. Yes, I had enough faith and guts to trust this process, because I'm up really late at night trying to make sure everything is managed. and I'm in a good place, you know.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm super proud of you. And this is beyond inspiring. And I have a question about the North Carolina project. Is that multiple year? What is the...
It's 1 year.
Okay, so that's awesome. And that's also rock quarry?
Yep, rocking. Yep.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Are you using the same supplier from Georgia? You find somebody else?
It's the same supplier, but they are nationwide.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I already had, yeah, so they already have an account. I already have an account, so I didn't have to go back through that process because that process was very long. It took like 4 days to get approved because we were a new business. We had no track record. The no website thing almost backfired. But I had my custom email address, so they knew we were serious at minimum, like that you paid the $10.99 for the email address.
Oh.
I had my 800 number. I never use it. I still use my cell phone for everything. I did change my voicemail though, just to make it. But other than that, yeah, no, almost, it's the same company. But there was one that we were getting ready to bid in Arkansas, and that query is not there. And the reason why I did not bid it is because they technically didn't have the product, but they were going to get it. But everybody was calling this one place because it was the closest to it. And there was only 2 companies that did that type of rock hauling, which made the haul $25 per mile.
Yeah.
And that was a no-go for me.
Supply and demand. They could.
Correct.
They could charge $50 if they want.
Yeah, where I'm paying $7 a ton here per truckload, and they're asking for $25 a mile, and I had no idea proximity from the quarry to that. Yeah, I wasn't going to get into the weeds of that. So there was really no way to bid it because you don't know. I don't know where that truck is coming from to know what it will be in the future. So I just felt like it was going to be something I'd eat later on.
All right. That was smart. That was a good move. Well, yeah, I'm really glad that you left. And then there's, 48 more states. Hello. You did on 4.
Yeah.
So what are some other things you're going to bid on? Are you immediately starting to, especially since you put in your resignation, are you going to start bidding on other states right now? What is kind of your game plan?
Yeah, so in BidNet Direct, I actually opened up pretty much all 48 states that's on there. And so I've opened that part up so that I can see a little bit more. So I'm just now kind of starting to play with this. So yes, definitely bidding in other states. I like the fact that my little quad where Georgia's located. So I have Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas that I touch in essence, South Carolina, North Carolina. That's where that's our touch. And that's really right now where I'm focused on because if I continue down the aggregate route, the only thing that changes between states is either it's granite or it's limestone. But I would still be using the same quarries. So that's kind of where I'm focused at right now. I did just recently bid 2 things in Michigan, but they had nothing to do with aggregate.
Oh.
So
what were they about? What were they about?
They were one is a sandblasting for a pool for a community center. All the paint was like chipping off, and so I just recently bid that, and I think I'm one of 4 for that. I used another small business that's not a part of the system. And I called them up and was like, listen, I need I need your best price. And they emailed me a quote back. I submitted the quote with like a bare minimum profit, less than $1,000. But that little less than $1,000 for something I don't even have to touch adds up. And I'm also then put into the series system for that particular county. So then when I go bid something else, my name comes up. I've already done business with them because they do look.
No,
they definitely look.
And what was the other thing? I think, did you say 2 in Michigan?
So it was it was 2 in Michigan. One is sandblasting, and the other one was, it's the lines in the middle of the road.
Oh, to paint them.
Painting, yeah. It was like it's called a paving project, but the paving we wouldn't be responsible for. We'd only be responsible for the stripes. Again, called another small business in the area.
I'm to tell you, I don't know about anybody else. I'm getting in this line. I love it. No, for real. I love this. This is so cool. I'm so inspired. This is amazing. Because it's it is because I never look at it. It's like you bid on what you look at, right? So I love this. Okay, this is exciting. So what else? What else is out there you're looking at?
So what I just won yesterday and received, received my PO today. So nothing is real until you get a PO. I'm sorry. I have learned my lesson. But we're doing an event management for a different county, which is literally the county directly next to me. I actually used to be a fireman for that county for about 6 years. Yep.
I love coming.
And I literally went to work just like this. So
Honestly, I can't wait till we meet. I cannot wait till we meet. I love you.
So I did it, and I was very aware of the event that it was. It's a senior citizens event. They have a lot of seniors that live in this county. It's one of our oldest counties, actually. I believe it's Little House on the Prairie or Gone with the Wind. One of the two of those was filmed in this county, so that'll tell you how old it is. Like the things are blown away now, but the thing, that Jonesboro, Georgia. So I bid on their event that they have for their seniors, and it was an event management procurement though. And so, so now I'm crossing over once again into something new. And so the procurement was tent, chairs, luxury bathrooms, ADA luxury bathrooms, and barricades for the tent area. And so, of course, I can procure, I can plan and everything. And so it's more of a project management gig. So ultimately, they were looking for the best price in this case. So what I did was that I went to look to who won it last year. Anytime that you're bidding something that says it's an annual event, always go back and look at who did it last. How can you beat them? Because all the information doesn't go away for like 10 years. So go look for who won last year. And so I found out who won last year. I called them flat out. I wanted to see if they were going to bid it. Because if they're going to bid it, there's no need for me to waste my time. Because there's a lot of calling, a lot of vendors, a lot of are you going to bid it? They didn't answer the phone. Called them the next day. I had 48 hours to make a move. So I just did 10,000 more than they bid last year. That should cover it. That's pretty much what I said. That should cover it. Had no idea how much the tent cost. The tent actually cost more than half the budget by itself. $5,000 to get it installed and taken down, which is ridiculous. And so I was just like, okay, wow. So I called another company and I was like, listen, I need a favor. I am not only going to have this contract, but now I am in their system. They're going to call me multiple times. Why do I know this? Because the person who won last year had been doing the same event and other events in the county for 10 years. So I recognized that there was a hole in this whole puzzle. Somebody missed it. I called the guy back. No answer. I bid it. The lady calls my phone and she's like, hi, this is whatever her name was. And I'm just so glad you're a real person. What? She's like, yeah, all these people have these numbers, which is also a tip, that they don't answer. So you get your free or your 800 number, or you get this Google Voice number and you don't answer that phone. Vendors want to talk to you. Okay. So that's a huge thing. She's like, I'm just so glad you're a real person. So I talked to her for an hour. It was crazy. She was like, I'm going to award this to you. I'm convinced. I'm going to award this to you. Give me some time. Let me send you what you need. You need a COI. You need this. And I'm like, I didn't even have insurance at the time. How much is that? Because all the other things I've been bidding doesn't require me to have my own insurance as long as the trucks do. So I did. I called up Hartford. I called up Nationwide. I called up Berkshire Hathaway. I'm like, somebody has to do something for me, please. Okay, please look at me. So, and I realized it was only going to cost me about $225 a month, $200 to get it started. Needed a little information. Okay, sign me up. So it took 2 days to get that kind of under control, and I ended up going with the Hartford, by the way. Shout out to the Hartford because y'all made it happen. And I sent it back. They could not award me until my COI was done, my insurance was in place, they were comfortable with me, and this is now taking over a week, and the event is next week. I literally just got the PO today. That puts a huge pressure, and I was very clear, I cannot guarantee you that every single thing that you wanted as far as brand is going to be available. And I think that is very okay. People have to know, be okay with possibly losing that bid because of their negligence. They waited to the last minute to put a very important event together. However, we won it. We're going to make it happen. So that was the skinny on that. That's the newest bid. And we did win that one. And that one totals up to about $40,000. And it cost about 30-ish to do it.
Which is amazing.
30 and some change. Yeah. Not including, I haven't included labor yet, but yeah.
Okay. No, but it's great. It gives you everything that you've talked about. The win, past performance, and it's not about every single one, you're getting like this bazillion-dollar profit. It's like you got the one, there's not only the states, there's federal, there's so many places where you can bid and they see, oh wow, she won this, she put on this event. And when it comes to the insurance, it is so important. There was somebody I interviewed recently and they ended up losing their work because they were unable to get the insurance that the sub was supposed to have. And so these are some real serious things. And it's not that it applies to one genre or the other. You'd be really surprised where insurance is needed. So I love that you got that together.
Yeah. And you have to also constantly think of, and I think even in what you do as far as like consulting, or training or teaching, I am a product. I am a product of my company. So anytime I look at a bid, I'm like, can I do that? Can I outsource that? Like, I constantly am putting things into categories. Again, I have a very type A personality. I put everything, I am a project manager in real life. So like I put everything, I quantify everything. I'm a sticky note girl. Like I before I bid it, A, is it worth my time? B, do I have the time to do it? C, am I getting in over my head? D, is there not enough profit for me to put that much work into it? Or sometimes it may not be enough profit. However, I have another goal that I'm looking for, which is getting further business in the future. So if you, like today, she realized, hey, we are very well underbid because I want your business in the future. It's literally what I told her. She was like, I respect that. Thank you so much, girl. So you have to kind of quantify why you're going after that piece of business, and then like really understand who you are and recognize Kizzy is a product, Anjali is a product. So it may not be necessary, I have my degree allows me to do a little bit more. So I can go in there and be a motivational speaker. I can also go in there and teach business courses. I can also, whatever the case is, those things you have to look a little bit further sometimes than janitorial and supplying laundry supplies.
Yeah, you got to be creative. I love that. And you go with your passion because out the gate, you're like, listen, I love highway management. I want to do a big old, that's what's going to happen for you.
Yeah. So that's kind of like the idea behind is that if I went to go knock on someone's door and says, hi, I have no experience, but I have really strong passion. I want to go into highway management. They're going to not even hear me say highway management. They're going to just close the door and they're going to say, when you get some experience, come back and see me. So now I'm building an experience through a need.
Yeah.
The government has a need for us for our passion.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. I'm a passion dealer. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm not doing dope, but I am a passion dealer. I am selling people my passion. I need to make a t-shirt on that. I'm
clear. I mean, it's clear. I'm entering this space. This is amazing. I'm feeling the passion. I'm motivated. We can feel your passion. This is amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, it sincerely is because it brings you joy. You left your job where I think with some it's this is and the point of having a business is not for you to create another job for yourself. That's not a business. That's just another job and you own the business.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So is there any other niches or areas that you're like kind of pondering but not sure of?
Right now, the bug has bit me for the procurement aspect of it. One of the things that I'm also bidding, it's pending right now in Unison, is there are a lot of commencements going on right now. And they're all late. I don't know what this is about this year. It's something in the water. Gotta be. But like the military commencements and promotions are happening right now. So I think also you have to be very in tune with the signs of the times. So you need to kind of know, like right now, there's a lot of rank changing. There's a lot of graduations right now. Actually, my niece is graduating from the military academy, Naval Military Academy. So shout out to you, baby girl. We're proud of you. So she's graduating from cadet school. And so there's like all of these, things that are going on. And the same things I just did for this county next door to me, they need beautiful restrooms. They need barricades. This other one needed staging and a DJ. And they needed sound. They actually put it in as a DJ. You've got to read the RFPs. So they put it in as they needed a DJ for speakers, microphones, wiretapping, da-da-da-da. So my godbrother is a producer, an actual producer. But when he goes to events, he brings his own sound. we recently just had a conversation about, hey, if you go to an event, how much does it cost? He told me what his number is. He's like, well, my flat number is this. Your number would be this. I'm like, okay, cool. So I knew what my number was. So I put his big number up and I put that a part of the package. So it's all the way in Virginia somewhere, but he'll take that U-Haul and go all the way up to Virginia to go do $5,000 worth of work for one day. Why not?
Amazing. Which is,
And he is a business owner.
yeah, and it pays off because people may have thought, oh, a DJ, and they didn't need a DJ for whatever reason. That's the term that they used. I love that.
Digging a little bit further than the natural eye. I open up things. I've bid on inmate chairs that are still pending. These are all the ones I have pending right now. I've bid on these unbreakable inmate chairs. There's only one company that make them. I've bid on police recruit uniforms. I've bid on police DA jackets out of New York. I've bid on, oh my gosh, especially in BidNet, it's very easy to do that because once you kind of get your number, you figure out what your profit is, you do it times however many items, and then you just kind of go, no, I'll do that one, and just see where it lands, kind of deal. You do the research though. When I had a vendor already that I could go to. So I've been on multiple things. The procurement is that middleman situation. And that's where, and you do have to be very careful about going into procurement, because if you don't have something set aside or a net 30 set up, you're going to have to put out some money to do that. Yeah. So
You will.
there are sometimes an investment that you have to do, but I haven't experienced it just yet.
No, but that's good. But when you get, and then it always varies on the size of the project, especially for a big project, they'll probably be more flexible with you, especially if you continue building the relationship. But I'm glad that you highlighted that because it happens. I get DMs all the time. Hey, I won this contract. I don't have any money. One day there's probably the possibility that we'll offer purchase order financing. But until then, these are things that we all have to figure out as business owners, because it doesn't just apply to the federal government. It's somebody who's got to pay for their lettuce shipment.
Yeah. And it has to be on time. They don't play. The first contract that I won with the Department of Waterworks, so it's a very male dominated, you're getting ready to talk to some guy who don't have time to talk to you, going to be short on, nice guy, but going to be short on the phone. He is one word text, one word emails. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this fluff. Thank you so much for choosing momentum management. He's like, okay, thanks. Yeah. So you have to also know the dynamic of your end user as well, of just really knowing they don't need all of that. So now I realize I can text him and he's like, yep, got it. It's signed off, logged in, no problem. Hey, did you get that invoice? Yep, got it. No problem. I already pushed it through. So, and learning who is doing what, who's working, what finance department, what part of finance has your invoice. You need to know that. Do not just email that invoice to any random accounts payable at such and such county.gov and just be like, I'm waiting on it to come. No, you need to know who has your invoice. You need to find a way, I'm telling you, because if not, you will be in the abyss. You need to find a way to get that email address or something. That way, if you're seeing that your invoices are lagging, you have a direct contact to say, hey, just checking in, and you've already built a rapport, so they don't even feel like you're bothering them because you already built a rapport.
That's what's key. You got to have that rapport with them, especially anytime it's with invoicing. I always talk about that. You have to, because if not, like you said, you'll be in the abyss. Other than that, yeah. Is there anything that you haven't shared so far that you wish that you were able to share?
I will say, one of the things that I think is really important about doing this show today is really to highlight this show. Had it not been for YouTube, I would not have been able to locate knowledge. People are on Instagram and they're selling a part of what you need to know. They're not necessarily, and I'm not saying all of them, but I am going to blanket it because there's enough people not doing the right things that I really wanted to kind of highlight this. I think what we're experiencing with Kizzy, you're a goat in this, legit. It's literally had I not experienced, and I'm a skeptic, so I'm always I'll buy it, but I don't think it's gonna work. I will support, but I am that person, I will buy it, I will support you, but I do not think it's going to work. I got here through unintentional rejection. You may have gotten here for disparity, being broke, wanting to do something else, sick of being in your job. And I'm talking to every person who will watch this. My advice to you, our advice to you is just start.
Yeah.
Even if you don't win, when you get the hang of it, eventually you will win something. Eventually you will be the only person that did it. You will be the only person that said anything or took the time to do a 24-hour turnaround. And maybe your bid was high, but you're the only one that did it. So I believe that if I could share any closing remarks, it would be just to start. And I got here in an odd way, in a way that I didn't think I was going to get here. I never would have thought I would have ever left the #1 hotel chain in the world, because we all have the aspirations of dying in that place. That is if you work for that company, we all know your plan is to cruise out of there, have free hotels for the rest of your life. Are you serious? So, but that wasn't God's plan for me.
Nope.
I have come to the place now, and I'm beginning to know who I am as an individual. I just had a birthday 3 or 4 days ago. What's today? It's on the 22nd, 3 days ago. Or however long. What's today's date?
25th.
Okay, yeah, so 3 days ago. So I just turned 40 3 days ago, and 40 brought about clarity, understanding that I thought people were playing. They were you turn 40, you're going to have this. When you turn 40, you're going to have that. And I it started 2 or 3 months prior to turning 40. I just had this this awakening of there is more for me than the exhaustion. I want to go do something else other than this. I want to give my time to someone who cares about that I gave my time. So, and I want to get to the point where I can employ others and not just myself. And so just start. I have definitely not made it. I still pay my bills right on time. I have not gotten to the point yet where I'm paying, 4 and 5 and 6 months ahead of time. But what I am doing is being diligent. I'm being clear about my vision. And every single time my vision expands, I allow it to. My name of my business is called Momentum Management Collective. And it wasn't because I wasn't sure of what to do. I created in my mind an umbrella. So that momentum management is the company, but the collective could be event management, project management, program management, procurement, traffic management, highway management, whatever, construction, whatever it is that I want to do. My umbrella was predetermined and pre-designed before I submitted my paperwork to the Secretary of State. And you just have to know I am allowed to bloom at some point.
Yeah.
Today is my blooming day. And right now is my blooming season. I sat as a bud, sitting in the back room. I've helped a lot of people over the years. I had my own branding company that I did for many, many years, that I supported churches only, that I did graphic design and web design and flyers and social media management. And I helped all these people grow their businesses, grow their ministries. And I didn't get paid enough for what I did. It was like a seed being sown. Well, my seed turned into a bud. And today I'm blooming. I'm allowing myself to take it all in. And that's what I would like to share with someone else. Take time, set time aside every day, even if it's an hour. An hour sounds like a lot, but take the time, watch those videos, take copies. I wish my book is upstairs so you could see that composition notebook that is a mess, that I was just taking notes. I got it from Dollar Tree at that. Just taking notes and just I put sticky note tabs and, knowing where to go back and referencing and highlighting it. Do it. Just jump. Go bloom. Go be something.
That is beautiful. I love that. You got to go bloom. You got to do it, because if not, then it's you're not even a seed. And we all are seeds.
Yep.
It's and there's no reason. There's no reason. You just have to start. You have to take action. If you don't take action, then I just don't even know what to say.
It's not everyone else's fault. If you don't take action, it's not that they didn't choose you. If you don't take action, it's not that they rejected you. If you don't take action, it's no one else's fault but yours. If you want different, you got to do different.
Yes, you have to. You have to. So how can people reach out to you? Because they're going to, Anjali, they're going to reach out.
No, I need to release the website yet.
Well, but what about in Facebook?
Oh, yeah. So I am
Instagram.
We're not Instagram. So I'm on Instagram. It's my tag is I am Anjali Monique, and that's ENJOLIE OLIMONIQUE. And then I'm also Anjali Monique on Facebook. I am on TikTok, but not really. My life is not set up that way. But I hadn't even started posting. I just started posting about Clayton County, but I hadn't started posting because I was almost scared. I was scared to be successful. I was scared to be successful in front of my peers. If people knew the kind of money that comes through my company right now, it changes the dynamics of who your friends may or may not be. And I didn't want to change that. So I hadn't really started posting a lot. So Clayton County will be our first, the senior event. We hired a drone to, go up and so the pictures, see the tent, get good footage and all of that. But yes, follow me, please. If you have questions, call Kizzy.
Oh, you're so sweet. Reach out. Yes. Winner, and then check out the book, winnerswaybook.com.
Yes.
winnerswaybook.com. Get the book. Join the Facebook group. This has been amazing. This is so heartfelt. I am so excited. You are going to do exactly what you said and more. And we're going to have another interview. Yes, definitely we'll have another interview. So again,
We out in like 90 days, so let's see what we're doing.
okay, Anjali, we're doing it in 90 days. So thank you again so much for being here. Please connect with her. Again, winnerswaybook.com. Everything is possible. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and that's it.